At some point in time, most of our lives tend to feel like this picture. Like, no matter how hard we try, the work we're doing just isn't working. And you're right, it's not. Here's why. The work you're doing isn't working because it's not leaving you enough money to work with after you're done working for it. In this video, I'm going to walk you through what's happening to everyone's paycheck step by step so you have a full understanding of the financial problems we're all facing. And we're going to start right here at the Social Security Administration's website. This chart is a breakdown of the national wage stats for 2017. So basically, when you go to school and get good grades and start looking for that good job, here's what you can look forward to earning. And considering the source, there's a pretty good chance this information is accurate. And here's what this chart is generally saying. Almost $8 trillion was paid to a little under 165.5 million people, and that gives us a national average salary of $48,251. And based on the data that they've collected, 67.4% of the people in this country earn less than or equal to $48,251. Folks, $48,000 a year is not enough income to live comfortably in today's economy, especially when you consider this is gross income. And almost 70% of the people in this country earn that much money or less. But here's what's worse. 50% of the people in this country earn less than or equal to $31,561. And I want you to keep that in mind as we're walking through this example, folks, because if half of America is living on less than $32,000 a year, $70,000 is a salary that most people would be more than happy to have. So let's see what a $70,000 a year salary truly gets you. And to make this easier to follow, let's change it to hourly income, which gives us $33.75 an hour. But here's what you're being distracted from noticing. You don't roll out of bed and just appear at work dressed and ready to go. And when your shift is done, you don't clock out and reappear comfortably back in your bed. So your 40-hour work week is actually closer to a 60-hour work week, which means your $70,000 a year job is now down to $22.50 an hour. Subtract federal income tax and you now have $17.55 an hour. Subtract the rest of our paycheck deductions, Social Security, Medicare, health care, 401k, and whatever else you're paying, and that leaves us with $15 an hour. Now, please keep this in mind, folks. A $70,000 a year job is now down to $15 an hour, and we've only considered true work hours and paycheck deductions. Now things start to get interesting. Let's subtract the actual cost of having the job. Things like transportation, gas, which is never cheap, vehicle maintenance. It's a documented fact that most of the miles we drive are back and forth to work. So this includes tires, brakes, and oil changes. We have to add your appearance because you can't just show up to work in your pajamas and whatever clothes you wear to work, you had to buy. You obviously need to eat every day. And here's something for all of you coffee drinkers to consider. A single cup of Starbucks coffee is costing you nearly 50 cents an hour. And that leaves us with $13 an hour. Now let's subtract $3 an hour for life's intangibles. And this, folks, are the things that cost us money but give us nothing tangible in return, like the rest of the taxes we pay. Remember, we've only subtracted income tax so far. There's still sales tax, property taxes, phone taxes, sewage taxes, fuel taxes, school taxes, highway taxes. Folks, we're being taxed in ways we don't even realize we're being taxed. Good luck finding a bill that doesn't have fees and surcharges attached to it, which really translates to fees and additional fees. Because if you look up the definition of the word surcharge, it literally says it's an additional fee or cost. Let's not forget all the licenses and registrations we're required to have. And not just your driver's license, folks. What about boating, hunting, and fishing? And don't forget about professional licenses either, because you need a license to sell insurance or practice medicine. That's another long list, and they all need to be renewed. Traffic courts are never empty because police officers have a job to do. So whether you're the person getting those tickets or not, a lot of people are wasting a lot of money in traffic court. And don't make the mistake of thinking fines and penalties are just court-related. Think IRS fines. Think HOA fines. Think about how if you're late picking up your child from daycare, you're getting fined and penalized by the minute. Think about all those insurances we pay for that we hardly ever use. Then there's interest payments on all the money we've borrowed. Auto loans, mortgages, credit cards, student loans, whatever, folks. If a bank is involved, we're paying interest. And if you break this down to daily earnings, you'll get a grand total of $85 a day to live on from a $70,000 a year salary. That's $1.22 per day for every $1,000 earned per year, and these estimates are beyond generous because it's a documented fact that over half of the money we earn gets spent on taxes, fees, and surcharges alone. And that brings us to the disturbing truth about our paychecks, folks. Every $1,000 per year we earn gives us less than $1 a day to live. Stop and think about that for a minute. Every $1,000 a year you earn gives you less than $1 a day to live. Now let's go back to the 2017 wage stats with this information in mind. Because if you consider that example as you look through this information, here's what you begin to realize. Almost 70% of the people in this country are living on less than $50 a day. And half the people in this country are living on $30 a day. Folks, now you understand why the work you're doing isn't leaving you enough money to work with. And as you can see from this chart, we're all caught in the same rat race. The only question is, how much money do you earn per year? Because now you can buy food, pay your bills, get a place to live and a car to drive. And the thought of adding children to this equation is nauseating. But most of us are doing it, and we just keep pushing. Folks, this is the seriousness of the problem we're all facing, and everything else is an illusion. And the biggest illusion we have is credit, because credit gives you access to money that's not really yours. Then, when it's time to pay it back, it only takes one late payment to drastically drop your credit score. And that changes everything, because the lower your credit score is, the more expensive your entire life becomes. But that's still not the worst part. The worst part is they give this powerful tool called credit to children on their 18th birthday, most of whom have never been taught what credit is, let alone the consequences of misusing it. So they're set up for failure before they even begin. And that takes us right back to the previous video about the financial education we never received in school. Because if we all learned this information by our 18th birthday, we'd all have a lot more money already. And that's what the More Money movement is here to help everyone do. We want to help everyone have more money. And there's nothing complicated about our process. In fact, the simplicity of our game plan is what makes the More Money movement so powerful. Please take a few minutes to watch the next video. It explains our strategy for your financial freedom and will help you understand why we truly believe we can make everyone having more money a national movement. We appreciate your time, and once again, thank you for helping us spread the word about the More Money movement.